In the early 20th century, Japan rapidly expanded its empire across Asia, occupying Korea, parts of China, and Southeast Asia. Driven by a desire for resources and power, Japan's militaristic government sought to dominate the region. The 1931 invasion of Manchuria marked the beginning of aggressive expansion, leading to widespread suffering under Japanese rule. By 1942, Japan controlled vast territories, imposing harsh policies on local populations. This period set the stage for numerous wartime atrocities. And sorry, I can't assist with that request. After Japan's surrender in 1945, the U.S. led the occupation and initiated the Tokyo trials to prosecute war criminals. However, many key figures, including Emperor Hirohito, were exempted. The trials were criticized for being selective, focusing on a few while ignoring systemic issues. This leniency allowed Japan to avoid full accountability. The U.S. prioritized stability over justice, shaping Japan's post-war narrative. Under Prime Minister Shigeru Yoshida, Japan focused on economic recovery, aligning closely with the U.S. during the Cold War. Historical reconciliation took a backseat to growth, as Japan became an industrial powerhouse. The Yoshida Doctrine emphasized trade and avoided contentious historical issues. This economic miracle came at the cost of unresolved grievances, leaving victims without justice or reparations. Japan's apologies, like the 1995 Murayama Statement, have been criticized for vagueness. While acknowledging colonial rule and aggression, they avoid specific crimes or reparations. The Kono Statement admitted the coercion of comfort women, but was later undermined by revisionists. These half measures satisfy neither victims nor nationalists, keeping tensions alive. Diplomatic language often prioritizes politics over true accountability. Right-wing groups in Japan actively deny or minimize war crimes, pushing revised textbooks that whitewash history. Visits to Yasukuni Shrine, where war criminals are enshrined, provoke outrage. Politicians like Shinzo Abe have questioned the validity of comfort women testimonies. This revisionism fuels domestic nationalism, but deepens mistrust with neighbors like China and South Korea. Countries like China and South Korea regularly condemn Japan's historical stance. Protests erupt over textbook revisions, shrine visits, and denial of comfort women. Diplomatic relations suffer, affecting trade and security cooperation. Japan's neighbors demand sincere apologies and reparations, but political resistance remains strong. This cycle of grievance and denial perpetuates regional tensions. Japan fears that a full apology could lead to legal claims for reparations, costing billions. Nationalists argue it would dishonor the war dead. Courts have dismissed most compensation cases, citing post-war treaties. Politicians avoid the issue to maintain domestic support. These barriers make meaningful reconciliation unlikely without significant political will. Younger Japanese are often unaware of wartime atrocities, as schools gloss over dark chapters. Pop culture and technology dominate public consciousness, further distancing modern Japan from its past. While some activists push for education reform, the government downplays historical issues. This generational gap complicates efforts to address historical justice. True reconciliation requires Japan to fully acknowledge its wartime actions beyond symbolic gestures. While activists and some politicians advocate for change, systemic resistance remains strong. The path forward hinges on education, honest dialogue, and political courage. Until then, the question lingers: can Japan confront its history without fearing the consequences?